Hello everyone, and welcome to another bass singer reaction and analysis. Today, we are returning on our Nightwish journey to see their performance of The Phantom of the Opera, a cover of the original song, I believe, but we'll see. It could be an original of the same name, but let's assume before we jump in that it's a cover of the original, and this is actually done by one of the previous singers. So Fleur is their current lead singer. This is Tarja, and I can't remember if she was the second or third singer in that series of leads for this group. But guys, this is Nightwish, the Finnish symphonic metal group, and this is the most recommended one I've had since I did the first video, which was Ghost Love Score, and the Nightwish Army, shout out to the Nightwish Army. They were quick to recommend this one as a second one, especially given that I sing opera professionally. So this should be really interesting to check out. And guys, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, help it grow. And if you're getting a lot of enjoyment out of these videos, if you're learning things about music, please consider donating to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Link is in the description below. And without further ado, let's check out Tarja singing with Nightwish back in 2005 for this live performance of The Phantom of the Opera.
Which calls to me and speaks my name, and do I dream again? For now I find the phantom of the opera is here inside my mind.
All right, what a great opening. So we can confirm that this is a cover of the original Phantom of the Opera song. And we can also see that Tarja is using her. Now I believe, I don't know this for sure, but I believe all of the singers of Nightwish have had operatic training. I know that's the case for Fleur, and I'm going to assume it is for Tarja as well, because there's just clear training in her singing happening here. So it's interesting. What we're hearing here in the vocals is a little bit of a blend between musical theater and opera. And just to put a flag in the ground, The Phantom of the Opera originally is not an opera. It's really funny because usually when this happens to all opera singers, we'll say we're an opera singer and they'll say, oh, so you sing Phantom of the Opera. Phantom of the Opera is a musical theater show. It just has opera in the title. So there is some more classical technique used even in the original with there's much more head voice in the female singing, and there's a lot of use of vibrato and such, but it is actually a musical theater show at its core. But what we're getting here is an interesting blend, because to create that operatic sound, that dark, warm sound you hear in opera singers, you create a lot of pharyngeal space. So you drop your larynx down here, and you can hear in my voice now, it just opens up the space and makes it warmer and rounder, as opposed to when I'm just speaking normally. So Tarja is doing that, but she's also doing a little bit more musical theater style in her vowel choices. There's very bright, open vowel choices, which you will use in opera, but to maintain the full kind of darkness and the color of the sound, you do tend to keep the vowels a little bit more closed down, unless opening up the vowels is going to help the note sing better. So it's interesting. So I'll go back and I'll point out this kind of blend that she's doing here, because she's maintaining nice pharyngeal space while doing more musical theater style vowel choices. So it's a kind of a cool blend of the two styles. I also love, you can just tell how absolutely stoked this audience is, singing along, crying the second she opens her mouth. I love it. So she says, me, very, very wide mouth, which actually shortens the vocal tract. You can see, if you think about the vocal tract going from your vocal folds up to the tip of your lips, if you widen your mouth, it's a shorter space than if you go like this. So, me. And you can hear the difference in color there. So that's one vowel choice she chose there to open it up, keep it a little bit brighter. And I'm sure, I know there's at least other one kind of main one here that I heard. Came. And really, the vowel sounds you hear are mostly done with the tongue anyway. So you can actually make pretty much any vowel sound on any mouth shape, really. So if I go E, A, A, O, U, there's just a little bit of movement in my lips, but for the most part, the tongue is actually doing all the work. You can look up really cool demonstrations of this online, where they have an x-ray, basically, of a tongue, and you can see what the tongue is doing the whole time. Very cool stuff. So, okay. That's that. And let's keep going forward.
That voice which calls to me and speaks my
name. So there's another one. So all the E's and E's we're hearing, the E and E vowels that she's choosing are much more open than you would likely use in an operatic setting. Another thing about opera singing is that the female voice types, really aside from a countertenor, are, because countertenor, male voice type that sings up in the alto range, really, or the mezzo-soprano range, occasionally. They sing mostly in head voice in opera. And this is what Todea is doing here. She's singing mostly in her head voice and only occasionally dipping down into her chest voice. As opposed to the male voice types in opera, where it's pretty much all chest voice. You will occasionally have basically like a character, aside from the countertenor, like I mentioned, you will occasionally use head voice in like a character moment. For example, I did a role called Nick Bottom in Midsummer Night's Dream. It is Benjamin Britten's operatic version of that Shakespeare piece. And he turns into a donkey. And so there's a few times where he sings the word away, and he goes, away, away. And it's because it's like kind of imitating a donkey sound. But under normal circumstances, male voice types, pretty much all chest voice, female voice types in opera stay mostly in head voice, but they do also use chest voice a fair amount, but it's more a head voice dominant throughout. And with that, let's keep going forward.
And do I dream again? For now I find the phantom of the opera is here inside my mind.
So normally that ending would have gone down, inside my mind, but she actually took it back up the octave and remained in her head voice instead of going down into kind of a deep chest voice, which maybe is out of her chest voice on the lower end. So that's an artistic choice that's different from the original. All right, here we go. like this so much more than the original. It's not even close. This is so... Whoa, wait. Is that a Jack Sparrow? Guys, is this a Jack Sparrow hanging out on the keyboard here? Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean? If it is, Nightwish is officially my favorite band of all time. Jack Sparrow is one of my favorite characters in all of TV and movie history. Someone confirm. Nightwish Army, confirm it if they have a Jack Sparrow hanging out with them on stage. So I'm going to assume this is Marco singing, because after the last video, they said just wait until you hear Marco sing and wait until you hear them sing together. Now this is really cool because Marco is singing totally, he's got the rock style singing, there's grit in the sound, there's that kind of rock belting happening, and it's really great to hear that, because that of course is totally different from the musical theater style more you hear in the original. Now, opera and rock actually have a lot of similarities, and I'm hoping, I mean, if it's like the original, it's a duet, it turns into a duet, so I'm hoping they end up singing together, and then I'll talk a little bit about how those two styles blend and how they influence each other. But what a great start there, and what if this is Marco, what a great introduction to his voice. And I just love that we are getting a little bit of musical theater with the vowels, a little bit of mostly opera with the technique at its core from Todea, but we have Marco coming in full on rock singing. So I'm like the biggest fan of rock belting, like big rock belts. It's like some of my favorite thing in vocal music and music in its entirety. So I'm really hoping we get some big gritty rock belts later. I mean, we just must. Like, it's, you can feel where the intensity of this song is headed.
Those who have seen your face, draw back in fear. I am the mask you wear.
My sleep they'll hear your spirit
And my voice, they won't combine. The sound of all the rising will stand for
Oh my gosh. What is he doing there? Okay, D5 for Marco, rock belt. Yeah, there you go. There's them singing together. Todea's adopted the operatic technique, and Marco's doing the full-on rock technique. And we already got one big rock belt, which is fantastic. So a lot of rock singers were influenced by opera singers. If you talk about, Freddie Mercury, for example, and he talked about that very, very openly, just how much opera influenced him and his performances and his music, and just the kind of drama and majesty of it all. They're both genres that kind of go after the extremes, and it's big, powerful themes. It's, drugs, sex, religion, murder, all these like super powerful, evocative themes taken to the extreme levels. Opera is like super over dramatized to the point where sometimes it's like pretty funny how dramatic someone is being about some mere trifle that they're experiencing. But it's just heavy drama, it's costuming, it's also this like full body powerful singing, which, some of the most incredible voices on earth and of all time have been rock singers, no question. Just like amazing voices with like crazy power and crazy endurance. But it's really interesting to see these two genres in real time coming together, to where we have someone singing full on legit rock style and someone singing operatic style on the same stage at the same time. So really, really cool to see that, and it really highlights how these two genres go together. And really this song is a representation of that. Let's keep it moving.
We'll stand for
inside my mind. God, I don't think I can get away with doing this kind of belts because they're tougher on the voice. But you know, and for opera, the goal is kind of maintaining like full purity of sound and like full vocal health, basically. But man, I feel like at some point I've just gotta figure out how to do the rock belts like that because they're so sick. It's like my favorite thing. So what was Marco up to there? Let's see how high he was. All right, B4, B flat 4. So up like right around tenor high C land there. Oh my gosh, fantastic. I'm loving this so much. And they are always taking it up the octave on Inside My Mind. Also, they're also, at least Marco's putting like a funny like W at the start of that, like Winside My Mind. There's a few, it's not worth going back to point them out because this group is finished, but there are a number of words and vowel choices and consonants that sound just a little off because this song is originally done, you know, by American singers. But I mean, so that's just something my American ear picks up on is when there's a little difference in a vowel that doesn't sound like an American vowel, or some other thing like that where there might be an extra letter thrown in there. Just like a funny observation of hearing this American song originally done by Finnish singers. But let's keep going. I feel like we've got some big moments left. We got probably about a minute left in the song, and I feel like it's about to get crazy. Okay, here we go. Oh my god. Oh, it's so badass. Sorry, so this is like high head voice, full on operatic singing, like it was in the original, which means we'll see if she goes for the super high note at the end. And then the crazy high rock belt for Marco. So let's figure out how high they're both going here real quick. A flat, is that right? That took me 12 years to figure out which pitch that was. I was just hovering right around it. Okay, so she's up to A flat 5, and let's see what Marco's belt is. F sharp 5. So they're one full step apart from each other on their highest notes there. There it is. Yes.
All right.
Kiitos!
My God, that was so epic. Literally 100 times more epic than the original. And yes, Todea did get up to that E flat 6 above soprano high C there at the end, which I believe is the same as the original. Oh, wow. That was a lot to take in. Okay, so really cool because we have full on rock singing coming from Marco. We have full-on operatic singing, especially at the end, coming from Todea, and then a little bit of those musical theater elements in the beginning, but really was always leaning far towards the operatic style of singing. And her training really shines through wonderfully. It's just, this version is just so much more raw and powerful and intense than the original. And I'm a sucker for things that are raw and powerful and intense. As you can clearly tell by how I'm responding to this music. What an incredible version of this song. What an incredible showcase and blend of opera and rock styles. What a beautiful debut for my listening for Marco, and actually for Todea, because the first one I saw was Fleur with Ghost Love Score. So this is, now I've heard two of the lead singers, so one more to check off. And this was Nightwish, a Finnish symphonic metal band, and this is their version of Phantom of the Opera. Absolutely fantastic. Guys, please like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and if you had a lot of fun listening today and joining me for this analysis, please consider donating to my Patreon. Get behind the scenes access, get to chat with me in my Discord server, early access to everything, and then some really cool special things as you get higher in the monthly donation. Some really cool perks. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.